Hey everyone, today I'm going to be slicing up a few rocks, so I thought I'd show you what I was doing, and at the same time I thought I'd show you my newest shirt design. This was designed by Nikki, one of the viewers here, so thanks Nikki, and if you want to pick one up, there's links in the description. So today, the first rock I'm going to cut is this. I believe this is Unakite, although it's a little different than most Unakite. A little more red in it. There it is, wet. Cool looking rock, so hopefully it looks cool on the inside too. Whenever I do one of these videos, I always get a lot of questions about my saw, so here it is. This is a Lortone ST-10 saw. The 10 means it's got a 10-inch blade. And this is an old saw. I bought this used. I think these were made in the 70s. It was replaced by the LS-10, and I don't remember exactly what the difference is between the ST-10 and the LS-10, but the LS is a little bit newer model. And they don't make either saw anymore, so you can't buy a 10-inch saw from Lortone. Anyhow, there's the blade back there. And this is where the rock goes. Just put it underneath there, clamp it in. There's a motor in the front that drives the rock through, so that vise just moves very slowly. So about a half an hour I'll have one slice done. That's oil, it's mineral oil for coolant. This is considered a slab saw. Slabbing is when you slice up a rock. In the basement you've seen me use a trim saw. That's after you have the slabs and you're cutting it into shapes, you use a trim saw. So believe it or not, I just changed this oil yesterday. I just cut a very dirty rock. It was Mary Ellen Jasper, and it's got, I think it has hematite in it. And whenever you cut something with iron in it, it just makes a mess out of the saw. So I cleaned the oil out. I don't clean it real carefully because it's just going to get dirty again. So I just want to get the old oil out, and I don't wipe down the sides or anything. I put new oil in, and it's good to go for a little while again. Well, the weather's changed just a little bit since I saw you last. There was a prediction of thunderstorms today. That's one of the reasons I'm inside cutting rocks. So anyhow, I got 3 slabs cut. This is the end cut, kind of like the heel of a loaf of bread. That'll go in the tumbler. And then here's an actual slab. So I've been downstairs cutting Christmas ornaments out of stone, and this one might get used for that. Nice red and green color for Christmas. So next up, we got this one. I think that's mostly quartz. And here's what it looks like wet. I think it'll look kind of like marble when I cut it, so should make an interesting cut. So see you in a little bit. Well, it's the next day now. I think I got 1 slab cut last night, and then we went to my wife's folks' place and played cards. Played 2 games of canasta and a game of euchre, and it's not really important who won, is it? It's how you play the game. Anyhow, here's the slabs I finished cutting up this morning. I cut 4 of these. This is my favorite one. Actually, most of them have a little bit of red right there. That wet for you. And you can see a little light through these too. They're pretty translucent. Cool slabs. So next up is this piece of Unakite. Looks like that wet. So that's on the saw next. Alright, the weather has changed again. I might get blown away here, so I gotta do this quick. Here's what this one looks like. Looks pretty cool. Here's one of the slabs. So you might be wondering, what do I do with this? Because this was just clamped in the vise and I cut off up to the vise. So now what do I do with this part? So I'll have to go into the basement where it's safer, and I'll show you that. Here's the rock we were just looking at outside. It's pouring out there now, by the way. What I'm going to do is glue a 2x4 onto there, and then I'll hold the 2x4 in the vise, and I can cut the rock right up until close to the 2x4. So I like to use some sort of wood glue. This one's water resistant. I don't like waterproof because to get the last little slab off the piece of wood, I just soak it in water for about a week, and it usually comes off after that time. So just put a bunch of glue on there. And then I like to do it on a flat surface like this so that the bottom's flat. That way when I clamp this in, the bottom of the rock's not hanging off the bottom where it interferes with the little shelf next to the vise. So push that down. I don't care if the rock comes up a little bit as long as the rock's not hanging lower than the 2x4. And now that's ready for, or will be ready tomorrow to cut the rest of it. Here's the next rock I'll be cutting. I don't know what this is. Kind of like the patterns in it though. So hopefully it looks cool when it's cut. And it's nice out again. I think this one turned out really cool. I like that a lot. I got a sponge wet for you. And then next, I've got a piece of what I believe is nice, in both senses of the word. So I don't have high confidence that this is going to tumble well, but I'm going to try to make little crosses out of it and tumble it, so we'll find out. I have a slab off that last rock, looks like this. And I want you to compare that to how it looked on the outside. It's quite yellowish orangish here and white on the inside. I've been looking for a yellow rock to do a project with, and I haven't been able to find one where when I cut it, it wasn't white on the inside. So just be aware that there's a weathering rind on the outside of these rocks, and a lot of times they're a different color on the inside than the outside. You can see it's just thin there. But as soon as you get inside, you might find a completely different color. So if you like this video and you want to see more like this, I put a playlist of slabbing videos over to the side there. So click on one of those and I'll see you over there.